Welcome to r/ReadyTuber combination, where I combine subreddits into one video. Our first post is from Am I the A-hole? And this is posted by NoGrand4260. Would I be the a-hole for throwing every wrestling match I am forced to attend? Oh, okay, let's read this. So the verdict is not the a-hole. So I am a 15-year-old male, and my school has restarted all the sports programs after almost a year of no/limited activity. Before that, I was part of the swim team, one of the smaller groups at our school. I love swimming, and it really sucked that we couldn't go for such a long time. With the restart, the school also made a new system. Every student writes down 3 different after-school activities in orders of interest. So 1 is your favorite, 2 is your second favorite, yeah. The teacher is in charge of the groups and picks the students. First pick is students who already belong to the groups before lockdown. Second pick is then random, and third pick is if there's still places left open in the group. Since I was part of the swim team before and put down my first choice, I would basically be guaranteed to get in. But now the results are out and I was placed in wrestling. I never even put that on my list at all, so I went to my teacher and asked what's going on. Turns out the teacher in charge of wrestling specifically requested me for whatever reason. Turns out my dad knows the wrestling teacher quite well and asked for me to be placed on the team. I know my dad hates that I prefer swimming. He always says it's not a real sport and that I should do some sport that actually gives me muscles. He constantly tells me I'm too skinny for a guy and has made several attempts to make me go to the gym to work out. I asked the teachers if I can still switch teams, but they said no. I also cannot just avoid the wrestling club because after-school activities are mandatory. So last night I had a huge fight with my dad. I called him an A for forcing me to go wrestling and that I'll just forfeit every single match I have to attend. He threatened me, saying that if I do that, he'll take away all my electronics and I'll only be allowed to leave the house for school and nothing else. My mom says I should have the right to choose whatever sport I want, but as of now, I'm on the wrestling team and I should do my best, but not to call my dad an A. But I don't want to participate in something I have zero interest in, was forced to even. I was really looking forward to swimming again and meeting my new swim mates. Edit. Thank you so much for the support. Next week I'll talk to more teachers, guidance teachers, and also write to the principal. Guess I'll try to talk with my mom again and maybe convince her. Also I'll mention that what some people wrote, that wrestling could be potentially dangerous. Maybe that will convince her. Worst case, I'll go through it and just put in zero effort if no one listens to me. Edit 2. So, this has gotten a lot more responses than I thought. First of all, thanks to everyone supporting me. I talked to my mom again without my dad nearby. She still thinks I should give wrestling a try, but if I really want to change, she will support me. Next week, I'll go and talk first to my swim coach, then the wrestling coach, and hopefully get it resolved. Otherwise, I'll go further to the principal. I can post an update next week and tell you guys how things worked out. Some of you suggested I should go to the newspaper or something, but I really don't feel comfortable blowing things up like that. Slandering the school is going to backfire like 100% of the time. I've also gotten a lot of creative things instead of just throwing the match. I'd also like to show my face in public sometimes, so no, I'll ignore most of the really weird suggestions. Thanks, I guess? I also got a few questions about the rules of afternoon activities being mandatory. So we have to do activities for 2 years total, but we're free to choose when we do them during high school. We can choose between a lot of club activities offered by the school, not just sports, but all kinds of activities: music, art, reading/writing clubs, gardening, or even game design. School club activities are always free, and if you require financial assistance for an instrument or so, I think you can also get financial aid, but I don't really know the details. Additionally, if we attend a club or regular activity outside of school, we can also get credit for that. Just need work it out with the teachers. We also don't get grades or something, just note it on our final report. I really don't know what happens if you don't complete them. Okay, OP. This is an interesting story, I guess. Yeah, wrestling is dangerous, I'll tell you that. But before I actually continue with my commentary, I will move to the... So, this is just an update to the post. You get the idea. So, I wanted to write an update after the situation has been resolved. First things first, I am back on the swim team for now. Today was a really weird and awkward day. First opportunity, I went to talk to my swim coach and explain the whole situation and that I'm not willing to stay on the wrestling team. He was pretty mad at my dad as well as the wrestling coach, so he took me to the secretary, explained the whole thing, and asked her to change the list. She was in turn mad because apparently the whole system was a big mess. I'm not even remotely the only student who was misplaced. So then the secretary called my homeroom teacher. There was a lot of accusations. I just was standing there feeling awkward. Really weird to see three adults being mad at each other. It is. In the end, I was basically told by all three to just ignore the whole thing and I can just join the swim team if I want to. I figured that was it, but until the end of the school day, the wrestling coach had me come to his office. He gave me a long talk about how disappointed he is, how he had high hopes for me, blah, blah, blah. Oops, my bad. I should really change my voice. How disappointed he is, how he had high hopes for me, blah, blah, blah. I told him I don't really care and that he was a jerk for ignoring what I want to do. Did you actually call him that? To sum up, wrestling coach mad at me, homeroom teacher mad at me for complaining, swimming coach mad at school, and my dad's probably going to freak out when he hears I won't wrestle. Oh well. Lastly, I want to thank all the people that encouraged me to stand up for myself. You have a lot of good advice and some really weird advice. Some really terrible but funny advice. Thank you all. Link to original post, small update. Mom told Dad about the switch as he came home from work. He so far completely ignored me, not a single word. Actually, a nice outcome, I guess. Ooh, OP. This is... Okay then, why is he obsessed with you building muscle so much? I mean, to be fair, I think that's very useful in swimming. Wouldn't that just be dead weight? I don't know, I'm not a swimmer. But, yeah. Good job, OP, for... Yeah. But, hey, wrestling's not for everyone. And neither is swimming, but, hey, everyone will find what they love, am I right? Okay, alrighty, our next post is from r/entitled People, and it is posted by INFJ Mommy. I'm offended by your vaccination. Some background info. I recently got a job in food service, but I was previously teaching, so I've been vaccinated for months by this point. However, last week my new employer changed their policy that if you're vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask while working anymore. Given that we're going through a major heat wave, I gladly took them off on this new policy. However, because I live in a very conservative state, only 2 of the people in our store are vaccinated, including me. Cue today's story. My one other coworker who is vaccinated, at least you know who the other person that was vaccinated, and I were the only ones scheduled to work. A gentleman walks in who comes in every day and walks up to the service area, then looks at us and promptly walks away. We obviously thought it was weird, but didn't think too much of it. Then we see him talking to another employee that works in a different department, one who was wearing a mask. She later told us that he refused to have us make his coffee. I thought it had to do with the fact that we weren't wearing masks, even though he wasn't wearing one either, but nope. According to the other lady, he was offended by the fact we were vaccinated and would only purchase anything from our store if one of my unvaccinated coworkers was working and we were not allowed to make his items for him ever. And I have answers! It turns out he believes it's the mark of the beast, vaguely hinted at Revelation in the Bible. So, by me having it, I am a Satan worshipper who he doesn't want touching his food. Should I tell him I'm an ordained Christian pastor, have been for the past 2 years, and have a master's in Christian theology from a Christian university just to see him wrap his head around those polar opposite realities? Alrighty, so our next post is by r/stories about Kevin, and this is posted by Quarter Target. The Amazing Tale of Kevin. Alright, in my life I've seen some really stupid people, but oh my gosh, this one takes the cake. Kevin is one of my classmates in school. I only known him for a few months now, but he has done so much garbage that I would have to make a dozen posts just to list them all. So I'll just list some of the recent ones. Oh, I'm sorry about that wind. Kevin wants to join the KKK. He has no idea what they are, but he wants to join. Every time we try to explain to him what it is and why he cannot join it, he just ignores us and walks away. I'm pretty sure he thinks it's like Freemasons or something. Kevin is constantly telling people that he's Albanian or Serbian. in an effort to seem cool. Don't know why he thinks being Balkan will get people to like him. He's 101% Swiss/German, pale as F, male is spicy, a white boy. He will walk up to Serbian girls and tell them he's also Serbian, and yells at them in badly pronounced curse words when they tell him to F off. Kevin is 5'6", but he keeps telling everyone he's 6'6". How do you even fake that? Not online, but in real life. He once walked up to me, who is 6'1", and told me he was taller than me. What? Kevin wants to become a famous rapper. He does this by making bad lip sync videos on TikTok. He is convinced that some producer would see them and make him a star. Just like the original Kevin, this Kevin has set fire to a cutting board multiple times in cooking class. Only he denies ever doing such a thing and claims the teacher is trying to get him expelled. Not sure why a burnt cutting board would be grounds for getting expelled. How do you burn a cutting board? Kevin once broke his ankle while trying to make parkour videos for his, quote, famous channel, and told girls he broke it, saving his mom from a house fire. Kevin acts like he's above class rules because his parents are rich. Kevin gets told to stay after class almost daily. For some dumb reason, Kevin thought the hedgehog and pigs were the same animal. Once he smashed his dad's iPhone with a hammer because he saw a TikTok where someone did the same thing. Oh no. This is just some recent ones. There are some that are far worse. OP? We need answers. And if you want to know what this OP has done, please comment down below. Thank you very much. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you couldn't tell, I'm pretty sick, so I apologize for my voice. And I can't really work that much, so this episode of ReadyTuber Combination will be pretty short. Our next episodes will be longer, I promise. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Please comment what you think down in the comments and subscribe to me, and peace out.